My grandson called and said, "Grandpa, I want to go fishing Thursday morning." And I said, "What kind of fishing do you want to do?" He said, "Grandpa, I want to go float fishing in the old John boat." As I was loading up the boat and tackle and waiting for Caden to get here, it occurred to me that some of my new viewers may not know what the term float fishing means. Float fishing is a technique where we take two vehicles, we put one on the river where we're going to put the kayak or John boat in, and we put another one where we plan to take out, and we float between the two vehicles. Before all of the large reservoirs and lakes were constructed in our state, this type of fishing was about all we had, and it became nationally known. A lot of us today are still doing that type of fishing, and with the kayaks and canoes, it is once again a very popular way to fish in the state of Missouri. Well, we're on our way. I'm driving the put-in truck with the John boat in it. Caden is following me in the takeout truck. This bridge is where we will be taking our boat out at the end of the float, and there's a place at the other end of the bridge where we can leave our takeout truck. We will begin our trip at this bridge, and we'll be floating down about 4 miles. When Caden called and we planned this trip, the water in this little river was perfect, but now it's the color of coffee, and it is usually gin clear. That means that we could be in trouble as far as catching fish is concerned. As we were getting ready to prepare our tackle for the float, Caden looked over and saw a woodchuck sitting on a limb in the edge of the water, and he just had to try to get a picture of it. As high as the water was, I decided we better tie on an anchor. There's a spring up here, Caden. We're going to go to that spring and then fish back down. This may be my first fish of the day, Caden. All right, any neat? Swallow nests. You can see a few swallows. There's not very many. Not as many as I would expect. Well, we're on our way. I'd say the river's 2 foot over normal. Gonna be tough, but we're gonna make it work. It's all right. It's all right. Okay, we got it.
Oh, that's a green.
Hey, that's a green sunfish. Yeah. Put him in there, Caden. I'm keeping some green sunfish for catfish bait. I'm probably going to be hung up back there because my line's been going out. Looky here, one hit mine while it was sitting over the side of the boat while I was trying to get the motor in reverse. To show you how the floods changes the river, Caden, the last time I floated, I went to the left side of those trees that you can see past the gravel bar.
Grandpa, that's the first bass.
Can you believe that that's a largemouth? That's a largemouth.
Like a baby.
What's he doing up here in the swift water? Green sun, a big one. Big for me. Well, if they can see it, the bass can see it.
I think I'm going to take back on that. This thing's a little bit too on me. Oh, I got it loose.
You got it? Boy, right down in there where that big rock is, there ought to be a fish, Caden. We have to keep anchoring and re-anchoring in this swift water. It's difficult to catch them with the force of that water running crossways. Okay. Man, there ought to be one in there. Oh!
Boat. Hey, my first.
Hey, you got a bass.
Might be that same dink.
In the water while I was taking your picture. Look here.
Oh, we got a double.
Yeah.
Same one.
Well, if there's little ones, there's big ones.
Maybe not. It's not huge. Never mind. as soon as he fought like a big fish, though. I mean, it's because I switched rods. When he hit that, I thought he was big. Man, you're caught. Give it up. Give it up, bud.
That's a little smallmouth down here in the still water.
Man, look how fat he is.
He jumped off. One of the things that we enjoy the most about float fishing is when it's time to take a shore lunch. But this time, while we were taking a shore lunch, Caden got on the phone with his job, and he was going to have to go back in early tonight. And in order for him to get there, we're going to have to make up time. So we're going to have to motor most of the way down from here. Our shore lunch consisted of some deer sausage and crackers and some pork and beans and some cool water. Gourmet food to us.
Really good. I'm glad we're finally eating.
Caden got off work at 4 o'clock a.m., got a couple hours sleep, drove to my house, and now he's got to go back home and go back to work early. Kind of messes up our fishing trip, but you got to make a living. But I'm proud to have a grandson that's dedicated to his work. We've been motoring about 30 minutes now, trying to make up time, but down around the next bend there's a little clear creek that comes in, and we think we can afford about 20 or 30 minutes, try to catch a couple of bass there.
That thing sure does move. Already, Grandpa. That looks like a decent sized one. That's the biggest one we've caught all day.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't think of how we were going to get them back to the boat.
There he is.
Wow. You were right about that. Oh. Yeah, that's a decent sized one.
Oops. Well, we had to hurry on down the river after taking time to wade up that little creek. We had a nice trip in spite of the bad water and having to fight the clock to get Caden to work. But how can you have a bad day fishing with your grandson. I hope you enjoyed coming along with us, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can go with us again on our next trip.